Earlier today, I was thinking about the worst few minutes of my life. I was out jogging. This was 2 summers ago in July, and I had just recently taken up jogging. And I could jog about a mile, and I was out and I was just about finished. And I was gearing up for that last burst of energy. And all of a sudden, I was sprawled out on the side of the road. I live out in the country, and I was kind of face down in the gravel, and my arms and my shoulder and my legs were all scraped up. And I couldn't remember falling, and I couldn't remember anything that would have tripped me, and I was really confused about what had happened. And suddenly I thought, I think my ICD went off. So let me back up for a minute. In 2014, September 2014, when I was 31 years old, I had an unexplained cardiac arrest. And I dropped dead in a parking lot. And by the grace of God, someone was there to start CPR right away. And the ambulance came and they defibrillated, and I'm fine. And the arrest was never explained, so we don't know what caused it. So the doctors said, well, as insurance, because we don't know what happened, so we don't know if it will ever happen again, so we want to give you a pacemaker with an ICD built in. So that's an internal cardiac defibrillator. So, in the hospital, when someone's heart stops and they get those pads and they rub them together and yell clear, and and they charge all this electricity through someone. So I have that built in, and it's in here. And we like to joke that I'm like Iron Man or the Bionic Woman or something. Anyway, I'd had it for about a year and a half at that point, and actually almost 2 years. It was July, and I'm jogging along, and it went off. And so I'm sitting in the road, and I thought, I think my ICD just went off, and it knocked me down. And to confirm that guess, it went off again. Well, then it continued to go off. It went off the next, about every 30 seconds for the next several very, very long minutes as I was trying to get myself home, trying to walk home, and I had about 700 or 800 volts of electricity charging through me every 30 seconds or so. And it went off 9 times in a row. And it was horrible. It hurt. It was scary. I didn't know if my heart was stopping and it was trying to fix it, or if it was malfunctioning somehow. I didn't know if it would ever stop. I didn't know if I was going to make it home. And I got into the house and called for help, and it did stop. So I spent that weekend in the hospital, and they determined that the ICD had malfunctioned. And they reset some things, and it shouldn't happen again. So that's kind of small comfort, because it should never have happened in the first place. And I've been through things that on a bigger scale were harder in my life, but those few minutes, nothing can beat that for just compacted trauma. And the crazy thing is that, as awful as that was, it has created a battle that goes a long way beyond just those few minutes, because I have to deal with the fear that was created by those few minutes all the time. Every time I go to exercise, jogging, walking, any kind of exercise, anything that gets my heart up, anytime I, walk up a hill, if anything startles me, if I get the hiccups are awful, because they're that unexpected jolt again. And I have to deal with this fear. And the fear tries to tell me what I can do in my life and what I can't. So it tries to tell me I can't exercise. It tries to tell me, I can't go outside and do active things like I want to do. And I can't push myself, and I can't get my heart rate up. And it tries to box me into this little space and say, don't step beyond these limits. You can't do this. And the thing is, it's lying, because fear is a liar and fear is a bully. And fear will try to lock us into these tiny little pens that it has for our lives. And fear does not have the right to do that. Only God has the right to tell us who we are and what we can do and what we can't do. And the truth is that I can do all those things. The truth is that it's actually healthy and good for me to do those things. The truth is that I should go out jogging more often than I do, to be honest, because I still have such a struggle with that. I have to face fear and work on defeating fear every single day. And as we go into the new year, I have a lot of other fears that are based on past events, things that didn't work, things that went wrong, that are telling me, you can't do this, that the things I want to do that I can't, and that I need to play it safe and stay back here. And again, I have to look the fear in the face and say, fear, you're a liar. And I'm not going to listen to you. God is Lord. He has the right to tell me what I can and cannot do, and his promises determine what's true in my life. Past experience does not, and fear does not. I wanted to get on and share this with you today because as you go into the new year, I think you're probably also facing fears, and I think you're also facing this need to choose faith over fear. As it happens, my friends and I just released a book that we wrote on this topic. I share my story of the ICD going off as I was out jogging and other stories. The book is called Fearless, Free in Christ in an Age of Anxiety. It's been out for a while. We released it last year, but we just released it on Kindle, and it is free. So if you could use a boost in overcoming your fear, if you could use something to shore up your faith, I would encourage you to go and grab that book today. Again, it's called Fearless, Free in Christ in an Age of Anxiety. I'll put a link to it in the notes for this video. So please go get it. You're welcome to it. It's a gift from us. We have a vision. We're trying to give away 10,000 copies of this book. And so Amazon is a big way that we're going to try to do that. Blessings to you, and may this be a year of overcoming your fear and walking in faith.